Hi everybody, it's Leah with Family Heritage Living. Today I wanted to talk with you about this GI Sellers company and who is the manufacturers of such cabinets that are behind me. The GI Seller company was actually originally the first producers of the Hoosier style cabinet. They started in 1888. When we say the Hoosier cabinet, most people go to the Hoosier Manufacturing Company, who did indeed manufacture Hoosier style cabinets. You will often hear me refer to these cabinets as Hoosier style, and that's because the majority of these cabinets were made in Indiana, and Indiana is referred to as the Hoosier state. Now, the thing with the Hoosier company, they started in the late 1800s, and they realized that the success of the previous manufacturers of these companies really was about marketing. Even though these cabinets are beautiful and great, the success was due to their marketing. And it was just done by a genius to begin with. And the Hoosier company obviously had a genius as well for their marketing, because they were smart enough to realize that everyone calls them the Hoosier cabinet, and we're from Indiana. Why don't we call ourselves the Hoosier Manufacturing Cabinet Company? So it worked out well for them. They were actually the first largest producer of these cabinets, and the Sellers company was second. The people we've talked to, and in my opinion, because we have had both, I think the Sellers was a higher quality cabinet. That's not to say the Hoosier did not earn an A for their quality, because for anything to make it, 10, 11, 12 decades and still be usable for this generation is amazing. But, and it's like, some people are Ford people, some people are Chevy people. It just depends on your preference, but they're all beautiful. In fact, one of my favorites, I love the Sellers, but McDougall's is quickly winning my heart, and a lot of people haven't even heard of the McDougall company. Okay, so anyways, with this particular cabinet, you will notice, and it's kind of hard. First off, I apologize for my lighting. We are, for those of you that don't watch us, that haven't seen us before, we live off-grid. We do videos and vlogs for our personal channel. We do Bible studies, and we do family devotions, and because of that, we have tried to use our kerosene lighting, our oil lamps, to produce videos, but the lighting is so bad it's hard for people to see, so we went ahead and got lights that work with our generator while we do videos. But it's still not the best lighting, especially for people that are used to seeing high quality YouTube videos. But so we hope what we're offering here, which isn't hard to find, information on these beautiful cabinets, will keep you interested in continuing through with this video. It's really hard to see from this angle. I can't get the camera quite far enough away to get the whole cupboard at one time, but this particular cupboard is called a Mastercraft. The GI Sellers company produced two Mastercrafts. One was a regular height cupboard, which is what most Hoosiers are, and one was a tall one. The Hoosier company created a cupboard, or produced a cupboard, that was tall as well, like this one, but they called it the High Boy. They are hard to find. There's not many around in their complete state. We've oddly enough, we're able to find both manufacturers of the video as the High Boy. So in our next video, we're actually going to spotlight the Hoosier High Boy in comparison to this. They're both beautiful cupboards. This cupboard behind me has the enamel top. Before the 1920s, they might have started late into the 1910s, but they were either zinc or wood. Now, we've had all three, and usually the wood one itself, there are those that pull out, but most of them just straight wood would not pull out. The zinc tops did pull out. The zinc, it cleans up nice, but it has a tin feel, because you can feel the air between the wood that the zinc is adhered to and the zinc itself. So, you know, that when the enamels came in, it was a whole different ballpark, especially for the user, and it gives a cleaner feeling when you're washing that up, and it cleans up really easy. So you can see up there, there's a second layer up here of shelves. Usually the Hoosier cupboard stops right here around 6 foot, which makes it a very interesting and unique cupboard. this particular company, actually you could later add this whole section separate and put it onto a regular size cupboard so that you could get that extra height. The one thing about this cupboard, it's very original and very complete. They did do a couple things over the years. You got to remember, this is over 100 years old. Somebody remade the drawers, and I'm not sure why they did. Those are questions we'll never have answers to. But they did remake the drawers, and they put more of a modern handle on it. We are going to have to, in order to get it more of an original state, we'll have to thin these drawers out because they usually are a thinner piece of wood, and there's a single knob instead of the 2 holes there. Everybody associates bread drawers with the Hoosier cabinet, with the Hoosier style cabinet. Often they can be a door that opens, not necessarily a roll top. When you ordered these, you had an opportunity to order the guts that you wanted to go with it. This was one example of what you could order. You can see the S for the Sellers Company. It's an original stand. The ribbed glass was common for the Sellers in this era, and you would get scoop. You'd get an original scoop. The Sellers Company has S's on most of their hardware. This particular unit does not have a plate. We surmise, because our other unit has a plate that says Sellers right here, that when they redid they just put the handle on there instead of putting the plate back on. We found this unit in a barn, and actually it wasn't like we found it in a barn, somebody had it listed, and it needed to be redone. It'd been sitting in there for several years. Fortunately, they'd had it covered with a tarp, and the barn itself had not leaked, so it was in really good shape. There is a piece here, and you'll find this often, usually on the sides of the lower part of the cupboard, but some of the veneer will separate. If it gets moisture, I really don't know what always causes that, but that's the only panel on this one that is doing that. Now, this unit does have its flour bin. It's in really good shape. It holds 50 pounds of flour. The one thing to keep in mind if you're going to use an original unit, what we have found is lots of times they would use solder, but that solder contains lead. So you need to be aware of that for your own protection, to cover it up with something or to even have it replaced. On this door, has all types of things for spices or to put little booklets in. This would be some type of cornmeal or even another sugar bin. It was available for the units. This comes with this is an open salt cellar. The ribbed glass that would be connected with the Sellers Company. And also we do find these in the Hoosier Manufacturer Company cupboards. These are great for having all your spices in one place. You know, I know we see these pictures with bowls and plates, but in my experience so far, the shelving is not conducive for things like that. More spaces for little books or spices. And this is an interesting thing here. This is where you would keep salt or your most used spice, so you could simply, when you're cooking, reach your fingers in, pull it out, and drop it in your bowl. And it goes in line with the open salt cellar. Just something I think that the way we used to cook that we aren't familiar with now, it's an interesting concept. Down here, this is not completely complete. Sorry guys, it's needs to be cleaned up. There should be a shelf across the center here, and there should actually be a shelf on the bottom. The Sellers Company was renowned for coming up with ideas to make life easier. For example, down here on the legs, those little cups were to put water in and keep ants out of. Most people today would cringe at that thought. They used to, on our smaller cupboard, you can see holes here on this one. There was a hinge that would attach to the bottom board, and when you open these drawers, it would pull out, so whatever was on that bottom board would come out with it. So down here you can see two drawers under this enamel top. Usually these drawers, the tops, the units don't have these drawers, so this was one of the higher up units that they manufactured with this in mind. And the neat thing about this, because oftentimes if you pull out your top, it's hard to reach those other drawers there. But one of the selling points with this, when you pulled this out, the drawers came with it. See if I can get down on there. So that was a pretty neat idea for them, and it is nice just to have to reach right under there to get into where you need to go. Just like that. So you can see pulling the top back does allow for a lot more room for working. All right, well, I think that'll cover it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have any questions, and if I have the answer, I will be happy to share it with you, and at the very least, I can try to look it up and find the answer for you concerning these cabinets. We will talk soon. God bless.